Hi, I'm Patty Wipfler, and I'm the founder and the program director at Hand in Hand Parenting. And I'm so glad you've joined us for this class, Helping Young Children Sleep. You're here because sleep has become an issue between you and one or more children in your family. And we really want to help you get a good night's sleep yourself, and we really want you to be able to have the power and the understanding to help your children get a good night's sleep also. And so what we're going to do is give you the information and the tools you need to reach out for your children and to handle their upsets around the issue of sleep, whether it happens before sleep, during sleep, after sleep, to relieve them of those upsets so that slowly but surely, and this may take some time, but slowly but surely, they gain the confidence that it takes to relax and go to sleep easily, to sleep all the way through a nap or a night's worth of sleep, and to wake up refreshed and ready to go in the morning. This will allow you to do the same. So we have high hopes that things will turn around well in your family. However, we're not going to guarantee that by next week it'll all be turned around. Most parents wait quite a while before they reach out for help, and so it may be that you and your child have been struggling with sleep issues for a while now. And when the struggle has been going on, this means that there's a bit of a tangle of feelings between your child and sleep and you, and it can take a while to untangle all of the things that pertain to sleep, all the things that don't let you relax with your child and don't let your child relax to sleep. Especially when issues around sleep come up. So we're going to do what we can to give you a hand so that you get some help, and to give your child a hand with your help. Okay? And this is not the cry it out method of sleeping help that is out there. Even Dr. Ferber, who recommended that you let children cry it out in their own bedrooms, has recanted of late, and has said that he's sorry he ever recommended that he wouldn't recommend it now, given current brain science. And we agree that the time when you need to let your child cry it out in their own room is when you are so angry that you are ready to do damage to them. That's the time when they need to cry it out, because you're not in good shape to help, and because they are likely to be hurt either emotionally or physically if you get very close to them. So it is an appropriate thing to do to let a child cry alone in their room when you are really full of upset and you could possibly hurt them. But otherwise, children really need someone to be with them when they feel emotionally threatened. And what our parenting by connection approach to helping children with sleep will do is it will give you the tools that you need to address your child's fears and upsets around sleep, either before, during, or after sleep, in a way that allows them to relieve those upsets, that allows them to work through those upsets, and allows you to partner with them to do that. We will also give you a way to deal with your own upsets and the tension around sleep that you have developed over time. So we're going to give you a hand, we're going to give your child a hand with your help, and you will become a more confident parent, and your child will become a confident sleeper. We won't tell you how long that will take. That is so individual from family to family. However, it can happen using these tools dependably over time. So I'll tell you one little story right now just to raise your hopes a little bit and to give you an example of what can happen when you catch a sleep difficulty before it has, mushroomed into something huge. I have a friend, Caroline, who lives, half an hour from here, whose daughter was 2 and something, maybe not quite 2.5, who just had a terrible time going down for a nap. She did not want a nap. She fussed. She fought it. They were getting into big struggles over nap time. And Caroline was becoming unhappy with herself about how those struggles were going. So she talked to me, and I talked about the parenting by connection approach. And I just said, what you can do is to connect with your daughter before she goes down for her nap. So she used the tool of special time, which I'll introduce during this class, and gave her daughter about, 20 minutes of special time after lunch but before nap time. Her daughter chose what to do. They spent time playing together. When the 20 minutes was up, her mom said, okay, now it's time for your nap. You're going to go to sleep now. She didn't move her child into the bedroom. She didn't start taking off her child's clothes. She just said, now it's nap time. Her daughter looked at her, understood, and burst into tears. Caroline put her arm around her and listened. This is a tool called Stay Listening, which we'll introduce to you. We'll talk about it a little bit in class 1, but we'll give you a full introduction in class 2. She listened to her daughter's feelings. No, 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 I don't want to sleep. I don't want to. I know you don't want to. I know. But it's time to go to sleep. Well, I don't want to go to sleep. And they kind of went back and forth. I know, but it's time. And the daughter cried, and the mom restated that it's time in a gentle and a warm way. And after about 20 minutes, the mother did it again. It's like, I know, this is hard, but it's time for your nap. And the daughter looked at her and went, okay, Mommy, you come with me? And her mom brought her in. She laid down. Mom held her hand for a little while. She fell asleep. So I think they did this 3 afternoons in a row, and that was the end of her daughter's sleep struggles for that period of her toddlerhood. So these are listening tools. You can learn to use them. We will coach you along. So a really quick note about what sleep is for. This is not the video to get into all of the science around sleep. I'm just going to say very cursorily that we can't live without sleeping. If you're sleep deprived that you are going nuts, that your feelings are much closer to the surface than you would like them to be when you're sleep deprived. You haven't had a good night's sleep. You know that it's harder to learn things. You know that your judgment is beginning to fall apart. You know that it's hard on your health. And what sleep is for is really for our minds to process the learning of the day. We cannot learn without sleeping well. And what happens is the mind takes this ton of information, sensory information and thinking and experience, and it uses sleep to sort the information into and send it places in the memory where it can then be useful. So if your child had their first encounter with a dog at the park today, then information about dogs and tails and maybe barking or tongue hanging out, panting, all that information goes into a place where when your child sees an animal like that again, they think dog. The name of this animal is a dog. So the information becomes useful and it gets stored in a permanent place during sleep. Sleep allows us to develop better judgment because we're storing the information that we have. And our prefrontal cortex, which is where our judgment develops, uses that information to develop sort of ways of going about encountering new situations with information from the past. So in order to develop good judgment, a good night's sleep is really necessary. Sleep allows our bodily systems to restore themselves and renew themselves, allows our bodies to rest enough to grow well. So it's absolutely essential for health. And sleep apparently allows those mild moments when feelings kind of got stirred but didn't fully get ignited. It allows our minds to sort through those moments and diffuse the times when we got a little worried or a little excited or a little interested. The milder emotional experiences get sorted through and sometimes get dreamed about, and kind of the mild emotional charge gets disposed of. Sleep does not help very much with the heavy-duty emotional experiences. We'll talk about what does help in further on in this class. So that's what sleep is for. If you're not getting good sleep, your judgment as a parent is impaired. It might be that your judgment while you're driving is impaired. It's just harder to think. It's harder to function. And if you're having real struggles with sleep, we highly suggest that you find a way to get a good night's sleep at least once or twice a week by having a friend come over and do the night shift with your child, by having a spouse or a partner take the night shift while you go in another room with earplugs, or while you go to a friend's house away from whatever happens at your house during the night, so that you can really rest. Your sleep is important, and it's important enough for you to find interim measures that allow you to get a good night's sleep and to catch up enough so that you are still functioning well and your health doesn't deteriorate. You probably are wondering what Hand in Hand's position is about co-sleeping, whether we think children should be sleeping with their parents in order to help them feel close and safe and connected, or whether sleeping with the parents is something that we should discourage because children need not to be coddled. They need to know that they can live life, on their own, that they don't need their parents by their sides every moment of every day. And we take no particular position about co-sleeping. In my many years of experience watching families and watching children grow from infancy all the way into adulthood, what I've seen is families whose children stay very close to their parents, who are very independent, who lead good lives. And these children have grown up both co-sleeping with their parents for a long period of time, longer than most people would imagine, and children who slept with their parents only for the first month or two in their lives and then were in a bedroom by themselves most of the time, except maybe when they were sick or something really difficult had happened. So I know that children can grow up very healthy, very vibrant, very close and connected to their parents, no matter which way they sleep. What matters the most is that parents are thoughtful and reasonable and warm and attentive during a child's waking hours. That's what makes the huge difference around how children develop and the resource they have to be independent but interconnected human beings. So you can make whatever choice you want around how you like to sleep, but I am pretty firm on the idea that everybody in the family needs to feel treasured, and everybody in the family needs a good night's sleep. And so if parents are sacrificing a good spousal relationship where one of the partners sleeps separately and the other one sleeps with the children because you feel like your children have to have you there, I would think about that and question it after you've learned the tools that we'll teach you. Because long range, your children need a good spousal relationship. Your children need both of their parents to feel close and connected with one another in order for the family to stay together well and solve problems well. And so if one person is being shunted off, in order for other people to sleep together and not be fearful in the night, use these tools to change that situation so that those who are fearful get to work through their fears and then can sleep separately, so that you're not sacrificing the goodness of the relationship you have with your parenting partner in order to keep your children from crying about being alone at night. We'll show you how to do that. If everyone in the family is happy with sleeping together and that goes well, great. But not all families are built in such a way that that works for them. And that is absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. You can be close to your children, you can help them work through their fears about sleeping, and nothing about the closeness that you have with your children will be interfered with by them sleeping separate from you. I can guarantee you that. And a couple of other little, framework pieces of information that I need to give. One is that whichever way you decide to sleep in your family, what you want to do is not have children present when you are having intimate relations with your partner, or you want to have children separate for that. So if it's a family bed, you want to do that part of your relationship someplace else. It's really hard on children to understand what's going on when parents are in the middle of intimate relations and the child happens to wake up. You don't necessarily know when your child is awake, but they will not be able to make sense of what they see and what they hear. So that part you really want to be careful about. And I think the last thing I'll say is that our main interest is to give you the tools to relieve the fears that your child has that either make it hard for them to settle, hard for them to stay asleep, or give them other troubles in the middle of the night. We think we can do that. And we think that you, given the tools that we will offer you, can really help build your child's confidence in you, in their safety in the world, and in their ability to relax and sleep all night happily. So here we go.